Well, hiya, BookTube. Bill Ruttenberg here with the Ruttenberg Library. I want to come to you today with the last installment of the Todd's Bursting Bookcase book extravaganza. He sent me recently 2 good-sized boxes full of books. And if you don't know Todd, go check out Todd's channel. He's a very generous man. He's got a heck of a book collection. His nonfiction is absolutely outstanding, and it never ceases to amaze me. He sent me over the last 2 years, he sent me, it's been a few times where he sent me some books, and I never cease to be amazed at what he sends me. There is such a wide variety of books. Go check out his channel and watch his shelf tours. They are pretty cool, and you'll probably be jealous by the end of it. But anyway, I wanted to show you, I have a magazine I got in the mail, a book that I found at my library for free in the book giveaway, and then I've got 4 remaining books from that book haul that he sent, or mail haul that he sent me. So I wanted to share that with you. So this will be a little bit faster video. So yeah, let's go ahead and get going. Let's start with that book that I found at the library. They got a shelf right when you come in the door of just free stuff, because our local library oftentimes gets stuff donated, and they're not always able to use it, so they offer it to the patrons for free if it's in good shape. And so I saw this, with it being March Mystery Madness. You see Margaret Truman books all the time, and this is Murder at the Kennedy Center. I am interested if this is, I'm going on the assumption that this is not, I don't know if it's a thriller or a mystery, so I am going to give it a shot here. BookTube, if you know the difference, if you know if it's a just like a suspense type book, or if it's actually a murder book, let me know, because if it's mystery, then I will use it for March Mystery Madness, because I've always wondered what Margaret Truman's writing's like, and I've never tried it. So let me know. So I'm going to try that. I got in the mail, and this is kind of a funny story. I got the Civil War Monitor. Harvest of Death seems to be the big topic. They're among the most iconic images of the Gettysburg battlefield, but where were they shot? Modern technology may have helped figure it out. So, trying to actually identify where those bodies were. We've got Lincoln's love of music. We got Atlanta before the torch, which is a handy article, because I'm getting ready to read, or I'm reading right now, Gone with the Wind for March of the Mammoths. So that should go well with what I'm reading there. And then a brother versus brother article. But anyway, this is the spring of 2022, the Civil War Monitor. Now, here's the thing, BookTube. Sometimes I get subscription flyers in the mail, and sometimes those subscription flyers are dirt cheap. And, I'll pick them up for anywhere from 10 to 15 bucks for a year subscription. I will buy those. The problem is sometimes I forget what I have bought and what I have not bought. And sometimes companies send you multiple things, and I think there's some of them that I've probably got 3 or 4 years built up. And I'm guessing I'm getting cheated out of money here, because they're going to keep sending that, wanting my money, and I don't know that it adds up each year if you keep... Anyway, I have a feeling I'm going to lose money on that, because I don't pay a lot of attention. I send it back in because I'm like, yeah, I would read that. Well, this is a case of, I don't remember sending this one in. But it had the sticker. I peeled the sticker off. It had the sticker with my name, my address, and all of that. So this is kind of a mystery, because usually the subscriptions to these are a little bit more expensive. They don't typically come down to the price that I like, but I guess apparently it did. But anyway, I always like Civil War Monitor, Civil War Times, Civil War Magazine. There's several different versions of this that I really enjoy. So yeah, I was glad to get it in the mail. Didn't know it was coming. All right, so let's get to the last 4 books that Todd sent me. These 4 books are, I got a couple of Civil War, I got a Lincoln, and then I got Native American history, or history of the American West. So it's all 1800s history. The first one in the stack is Custer's Trials, A Life on the Frontier of a New America by T.J. Stiles. And it says winner of the Pulitzer Prize. I don't know if that was the book or the author won it previously. I'll have to check that out. Not sure on that. But very, very happy to have that. Custer is quite the interesting fellow. He had quite the ego. So this is from Alfred A. Knopf, and it's a 2015 book. And it says, from the Pulitzer Prize and National Book Award winner, a brilliant new biography of General George Armstrong Custer that radically changes our view of the man in his turbulent times. So this book did not win the Pulitzer. It was the author that won the Pulitzer, is what it sounds like. In this magisterial biography, T.J. Stiles paints a portrait of Custer, both deeply personal and sweeping in scope, proving how much of Custer's legacy has been ignored. He demolishes Custer's historical caricature, revealing a volatile, contradictory, intense person, capable yet insecure, intelligent yet bigoted, passionate yet self-destructive, a romantic individualist at odds with the institution of the military. He was court-martialed twice in 6 years. The key to understanding Custer, Stiles writes, is keeping in mind that he lived on a frontier in time. In the Civil War, the West, in many areas overlooked in previous biographies, Custer helped to create modern America, but he could never adapt to it. He freed countless slaves, yet rejected new civil rights laws. He proved his heroism, but missed the dark reality of war for so many others. A talented combat leader, he struggled as a manager in the West. He tried to make a fortune on Wall Street, yet never connected with the new corporate economy. Native Americans fascinated him, but he could not see them as fully human. A popular writer, he remained apart from Ambrose Bierce, Mark Twain, and other rising intellectuals. During Custer's lifetime, Americans saw their world remade. His admirers saw him as the embodiment of the nation's gallant youth, of all that they were losing. His detractors despised him for resisting a more complex and promising future. Intimate, dramatic, and provocative, this biography captures the larger story of the changing nation in Custer's tumultuous marriage to his highly educated wife, Libby, their complicated relationship with Eliza Brown, the forceful black woman who ran their household, as well as his battles and expeditions. It casts surprising new light on a near mythic American figure, a man both widely known and little understood. All right, so looking forward to reading that. I've read several books, or a handful of books, I think like 4 or 5 different books on Custer's Last Stand, but I have not read a full biography on Custer. I don't know. I mean, I know he served in the Civil War. He was at Gettysburg, and I know some of those things, but I don't know any detail of it. I don't know any of the detail of his youth. So I'm really looking forward to diving into this. And these last 2 years, Todd has sent me several Custer books. So I have got the materials to learn about Custer in the Ruttenberg Library. All I got to do is read them. But you guys know how that goes. Finding time to read all of your books is like impossible sometimes, it feels like. So anyway, here's some Native American history. Very famous book, Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee, in Indian History of the American West by D. Brown. I have not read this. I want to read it. It is on my list of books to read. So this is a nice hardback edition. This will probably replace, I have a couple of different paperback versions in my library upstairs, and this will replace it. So I'm very happy to have this. And this is from Holt, Reinhardt, and Winston. And it is a 1970 book. And I'll read the inside flap. Looks like it's pretty short here, so I'll go ahead and read it. It says, traditional texts glory in our nation's western expansion, the great conquest of the virgin frontier. But how did the original Americans, the Dakota, the Nez Perce, the Utes, the Poncas, the Cheyenne, Navajo, Apache, and others feel about the coming of the white man and the expropriation. I know I bombed that. Here we go again. Oh man, of their land, the destruction and of their way of life. What happened to Geronimo, Chief Joseph, Cochise, Red Cloud, Little Wolf, Sitting Bull, as their people were killed or driven onto reservations during the decades of broken promises and oppression and war? Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee is a documented account of the systematic plunder of the American Indians during the second half of the 19th century, battle by battle, massacre by massacre, broken treaty by broken treaty. Here for the first time is their side of the story. We could see their faces, hear their voices as they tried desperately to live in peace and harmony with the white man. With 49 photographs of the great chiefs, their wives, and warriors, with the words of the Indians themselves, culled from testimonies and transcripts and previously unpublished writings, with a straightforward, eloquent, and epic style, Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee presents a unique and disturbing history of the American West from the Indian point of view. D. Brown has written 15 books on the Western American history. Now a librarian at the University of Illinois, he has spent years researching and writing this important work. So yeah, this has been on my TBR for a long time. I've had a copy of it for quite a while, but like I said, I just haven't dipped into it. And part of it is, it's not that I don't want to learn more. I mean, I kept the book for a reason, but in my classes, the time period that I cover in my classes does not hit what's going on in this book. And so that happens with a lot of my library. I'll find books like this and I'm like, oh yeah, I want to read that. I'm interested. I put it in my library, but then I don't get to it because I tend to read stuff that goes with what goes on in my classroom. And like I said, we don't get to this era in my American history. We stop basically at the Civil War, and the high school picks up with this. But anyway, I got another copy of it, maybe give me even more of a reason to read it. So here is Civil War book here. It's Abandoned by Lincoln, a military biography of General John Pope. That's nice because I don't believe I have anything on John Pope. So this will be a new one. It's not like really big. So it's by Wallace J. Schutz and Walter N. Trenary. Kind of a neat cover there. There you go. Let's see here. This is a University of Illinois Press out of Urbana in Chicago, and it is from the year 1990. So, it says General John Pope is best known as the Union general who lost the Second Battle of Bull Run, a defeat that branded him as an incompetent and a military bungler. Wallace J. Schutz and Walter N. Trenary take issue with those they feel tarnished Pope's reputation. The authors characterize Pope as an able army officer with many good qualities, but who ultimately lacked the deviousness that went with success. Pope's career reached an apex in 1862 when, as commander of the Army of Virginia, he was seen as a pivotal to Republican hopes. A victory by Pope's forces could have clinched the congressional elections for Lincoln and the Republicans and warded off any possibility of foreign intervention, the authors believe. Complicating the situation were Salmon Chase's and Edwin Stanton's simultaneous plans to gain control of the Republican Party by making Pope their protege and thus controlling the army. Suspecting intrigue, General McClellan, a Democrat, apparently was willing to imperil the Union cause rather than stand by while the opposing party won an electoral victory. The first ever published biography of Pope provides substantial background, much of it previously unpublished, on all aspects of his 44-year Army career. Pope emerges as a competent officer who successfully carried out a wide variety of assignments, but never quite escaped the stigma of his loss at Bull Run. All that most students of the Civil War remember about John Pope is General Sturgis's caustic comment about not carrying a pinch of owl dung about him. Schutz and Trenary have at last done him justice in this admirable biography. And that was a quote from Herman Hathaway. And then another quote, without question, John Pope deserves a biography, and it is unlikely that anyone will ever write a better one than Schutz and Trineri have. Their research has been extensive, and they have made good use of the sources. And this one was from William C. Davis. And I was about ready to question, where it says the first ever published biography of Pope. Is that true, Book 2? Would this be the first? I would think that somebody would have tackled his life and wrote a book about it before this. But you've got people in the blurbs saying the same thing about, it's good to have the biography for the first time. So maybe he's right. Maybe whoever wrote the cover was right. I was about ready to question that. But anyway, regardless, I have not read anything on John Pope. And that might be because nothing's ever been written until this book. That would make sense. So anyway, the last book in the stack, I actually have a copy of this already, but I would love to have a copy of it sitting in my classroom for my kids to help my kids at school. And I just may keep this copy and donate my copy to school because this one's in fairly good shape. And this is Lincoln, an illustrated biography. And this is put together by Philip Kuhnhart Jr., Philip Kuhnhart III, and Peter Kuhnhart. And I have read this book cover to cover. This is a big coffee table book. It is fabulous. And it goes through the life of Lincoln, and it uses photography from that Kuhnhart collection, which is absolutely phenomenal. Look at the inside of the book there. Excuse me. Let's see. This is from Alfred A. Knopf, and it's out of New York, and it's a 1992 book. It's got a foreword from David Herbert Donald, the ever famous historian of Lincoln, and I'm looking forward just to kind of flipping through this again because it's got just photos galore. The Kuhnhart collection is the best put together collection of photos of Lincoln that there is. I don't know if you guys realize the history of the Lincoln photography, and I think it's called the Kuhnhart collection. I might be wrong on the exact name of it, but it's the Kuhnhart family. But there was a crate of the glass plates, and I don't know if you would call those negatives. I'm not good on the terminology, so forgive me for that. But there was a crate full of all kinds of pictures of Lincoln and a lot of the people of that time period that were about ready to be just thrown out into the trash. And that family came into contact with those before they made it to the trash can, and they ended up collecting them. And then it became their mission to then continue to collect as many photographs of Lincoln and his, people of his era. And that's the reason we have all the photos of Lincoln, is because of this family and its collection. I had watched a documentary on the family and the collection online one time, and it was absolutely phenomenal. I'm gonna have to find that and watch it again because it was very, very interesting. But what this family has done for just the Lincoln image and the Lincoln legacy is what they've done is tremendous. And so I always enjoy picking up a book that comes from that family. So yeah, again, let me put these up here. This was my haul. So I've got enough books here to last a lifetime reading, but why stop now? Let's get more. That's kind of my theory on this. But anyway, BookTube, this is my collection. This is what I've gotten lately in the mail. And thank you again to Todd at Todd's Bursting Bookcase. He's been very generous as he's been culling the herd and cutting out books that he's ready to send off into the wild. So I thank you for watching the video. Thank you to all the new subscribers. I really appreciate you coming to the channel. Please stick around and watch some more videos, more future videos. I know I think I'm going to do a tag on Tuesday. That's my plan. So look forward to that tag. I have no idea which one I'm going to do. I have a whole stack of them that I need to, I'll probably do a tag on Tuesday and Thursday because I need to try to get caught up on some of my tags. But anyway, I hope everyone's having a great week or weekend, excuse me, having a great weekend. And yeah, until next time, happy reading.